Hello my dear students. Now अब मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ हाउ टू प्रिपेयर बैलेंस शीट ऑफ द कंपनी. So again we will prepare the balance sheet under schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013, and this is the specific format as per the Companies Act. And whenever we prepare the balance sheet for the company, so we must follow the same format for the preparation of final account of the company or financial statement of the company. Now the balance sheet is divided into two parts. First part is the equity and liability, and second part is the assets. And the company's balance sheet is started from the equity. Then the major heading of the liability side of the balance sheet, this is equity and liability. And under the equity and liability, there is a total 4 main heading. First is the shareholder funds. And under the shareholder fund, the first part is the share capital, and second part is the reserve and surplus. Equity share capital, preference share capital, all are the part of share capital of the company. The second is reserve and surplus. All type of reserve, all type of reserve, all type of reserve, like general reserve, capital redemption reserve, debenture redemption reserve, capital reserve, all are the part of reserve and surplus. Plus accumulated balance of profit and loss account. Balance of profit and loss account. Plus net profit of the current year. Net profit is the current year. Is also the part of reserve and surplus. So reserve and surplus include all type of reserve, whether general reserve, whether capital reserve, debenture redemption reserve, all type of reserve, plus balance of profit and loss account, and plus current year profit is also part of reserve and surplus. First, we will prepare the statement of profit and loss account. From the statement of profit and loss account, we can find out the net profit or net loss. So net profit is a part of reserve and surplus, and we will shown in the balance sheet and liability side. Third is the money received against share warrants. So in the shareholder fund, total 3 part is there. First, share capital. Second, reserve and surplus, and third is money received against share warrant. Now the second part under the equity and liability, share application money pending for allotment. For PGDM purpose or the BBA purpose, this is not very much important or relevant. But is share application money pending for allotment? Whenever company issue the share, then first company receive the money from the share, from the person, from the party at the time of application. After receiving the application, after some time, company allowed the shares to the member. Now the such member is called the shareholder. So if the company received the money at the time of application, but जब हम बैलेंस शीट बना रहे हैं तब तक शेयर होल्डर को अलॉटमेंट नहीं हुआ, then such money is called share application money pending for allotment. And the third one is the non-current liability. The liability is divided into two parts. Number first is the non-current liability, or number second is the current liability. Or we can say long-term liability as well as the short-term liability. Non-current liability is a long-term liability, and the current liability is a short-term liability. Now, how to classify it? Whether liability is a long-term liability or whether liability is a short-term liability. Whether liability is a non-current liability, whether liability is a current liability. For classification purpose, we have to consider the duration. If the liability for a duration of more than 1 year, so this is called long-term liability or non-current liability. Or if the liability for the duration of less than 1 year, so this is called short-term liability or this is called current liability. So liability is depend upon the period, depend upon the time. So third part is the non-current liability, or we can say in the other term long-term liability. And under the long-term liability, under the non-current liability, now there is total 4 options there. Number first is a long-term borrowings, long-term loan. Whether you borrow the amount from the party, whether you borrow the amount from loan, well, all type of loan, all type of borrowing for the more than 1 year period. So this is called long-term borrowing. Next is the deferred tax liability. Number third is the other long-term liability. Now this is long-term borrowing and this is long-term liability. What is long-term borrowing? आपने पैसा बोरो किया, whether you borrow the money, so this is called long-term borrowing. Or if the liability created for duration of more than 1 year, so this is called long-term liability. पैसे को हम मांगते हैं तो वो लोन होता है और लायबिलिटी हमारी क्रिएट होती है. सपोज यू परचेज ए मशीनरी वर्थ ₹10 crore and as per the term and condition, as per the repayment amount of term and repayment amount term condition is that you can repay the money after 12 months. Suppose you purchase the machinery for ₹10 crore from ABC Limited और ABC Limited आपसे कहती है कि आप ₹5 crore हमको 1 साल के बाद पे कर सकते हैं. So this is called long-term liability. And number fourth one is the long-term provision. Number fourth one is the long-term provision. Now question is, what is long-term provision? Now provision created for the long duration period. Provision created for the long duration period. This is called long-term provision. Like for example is provision for gratuity, provision for leave salary. All are the long-term provision. Well, if you liable to pay after 1 year and you want to make the provision for the particular things, particular purpose, so this type of provision is called long-term provision. So under the non-current liability, under the long-term liability, the total 4 item is there. Number first, long-term borrowings. Number second, deferred tax liability. Number third, other long-term liability. Or number fourth, long-term provision. Same as non-current liability. Again total 4 component under the current liability. The first component is the short-term borrowing, same as long-term borrowing. अगर आपने पैसा उधार लिया, आपने लोन लिया 1 साल से कम के लिए, the duration of the borrowing amount, duration of the loan amount is less than 1 year, then such liability is called short-term borrowing. Number second is trade payable. Trade payable like creditors. Trade payable like creditors. Creditor and tax trade payable both are same. Account payable, trade payable, creditors all are same. So there is one of the requirement as per the Companies Act. You have to show separately trade payable to MSME and trade payable to others. Trade payable we have to show in 2 parts. Number first, trade payable to MSME, or number second, trade payable to other than MSME. Number third item is same, other current liability, same as other long-term liability, and the fourth item is also same, short-term provision. And here long-term provision and here short-term provision. Now what is the short-term provision? If you are liable to make the payment within a period of 1 year and you want to create the provision for particular purpose, for such purpose, so this is called short-term provision. Like for example is provision for taxation. Provision for taxation. And the long-term provision means provision for gratuity. Provision for provident fund, provision for leave salary. All are is the long-term provision, and provision for taxation, provision for dividend, all are the short-term provision. So this is the liability side of the balance sheet. Under the liability side of the balance sheet, the major 4 component is there, 4 heading is there. Number first is the shareholder fund. Under the shareholder fund, 3 component is there. Number first, share capital. Number second, reserve and surplus. And number third, money received against the share warrant. Number second component, second part, share application money pending for allotment, not very relevant for you. Number third is the non-current liability, and number fourth is the current liability. Or under the non-current liability, under the current liability, again 4 component is there, and all are similar. Now go to the asset side. Under the asset side, there is 2 major component, 2 major part. Number first is the non-current assets, or number second is the current assets. Under the liability side, how many major head? Under the liability side, 4 major head. But under the asset side, only 2 major head. Number first is the non-current assets, or number second is the current assets. Same as non-current assets. Non-current asset is a long-term asset. And the current asset is a short-term assets. Long-term assets and short-term assets. Again, same rule. If the duration of the assets is more than 1 year, so long term is less than 1 year, then short term. Under the non-current assets, total 5 head is there. Number first, PPE. Number first, PPE, property, plant and equipments. Property, plant and equipments. All type of fixed assets. Land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, laptop, computer, all are classified under the PPE, property, plant and equipment. Number second is the intangible assets. We have already discussed in the first number video two type of asset, tangible assets and intangible assets. So property, plant, equipments under the tangible assets. But the intangible asset is called goodwill, patent, copyright, know-how, franchisee, license, all are the intangible assets. Number third component is capital WIP, and this is the important terminology for theory point of view. Now question is, what is capital WIP? What is capital WIP? Assets under construction is not the exact definition of capital WIP. It's not the exact definition of capital WIP. Building under construction, not the exact definition of capital WIP. So what is capital assets? Assets which is not ready for use at the end of the financial year. The assets which is not in the position for use, this is called capital WIP. Suppose you purchase a machinery for rupees 50 crore and you construct the platform for install the machinery and spend, just example, 50 lakh rupees. Then how much you have total spent? This is 50 crore, 50 lakh. But at the end of the financial year, that is 31st March, just example 2025, the machinery is not in the position for use. Suppose trial and run is pending. Trial and run is pending at the end of the financial year. Then such machine worth rupees 50 crore 50 lakh is classified under the capital WIP. Classified under the capital WIP. Or once machine ready for use, suppose in the next year, on 15th April 2025, the trial and run has been completed and now the machine is ready for use. So in the financial year 25-26, such capital WIP now is converted into PPE, property, plant and equipment. So this is the important question for the theory point of view. What is capital WIP? If any of the assets is not in the position for use at the end of the financial year, then such asset is called the capital WIP. अगर बेटा आपसे कोई भी बोले कि building under construction, this is definitely capital WIP. But capital WIP is not only for the building. The capital WIP is relevant for all type of assets. अगर कोई आपको बता रहा है कि building under construction is a capital WIP, so this is not the exact definition of capital WIP. If any of the fixed assets, अगर बेटा वो 31 मार्च को या जिस दिन हम बैलेंस शीट बना रहे हैं उस दिन को वो यूज करने के लायक नहीं है, we cannot use such assets due to any of the reason, due to the pendency of trial and run, due to the pendency of installation, then such asset is treated as capital WIP. Now the fourth part is intangible asset under development, same as capital WIP. Next is the non-current investment. If you invest the money for the duration of more than 1 year, if you invest the money for the duration of more than 1 year, so this is called non-current investment or long-term investment. Suppose you invest the money for shares, for mutual fund, for commodity, for purchase of the building, for purchase of the any of the asset, 1 साल से ज़्यादा के लिए, then such investment is called non-current investment because उसका जो period है वो 1 साल से ज़्यादा का है. Next is the deferred tax assets. Next, long-term loan and advances. Suppose you have given the loan to others. If the loan given in the trial balance asset side, debit side, so this is your assets, मतलब you have given the loan. Or if the loan given in the credit side in the trial balance, that means आपने लोन लिया. अगर आपने लोन दिया तो आपने एडवांसेस दिए 1 साल से ज़्यादा के लिए, so this is called long-term loan and advances. And the last one is non-current assets, other non-current assets other than first 4. Now the second major component under the asset side is the current assets. Under the current assets, the first item is the current investment. Current investment or short-term investment both are same. If you invest the money in shares, in mutual fund, in debenture or in any of the property for duration of less than 1 year, so this is called current investment or short-term investment. Inventory. Which inventory? Definitely closing inventory. Closing inventory. Trade receivable or debtor. Cash and cash equivalent. Short-term loan and advances. Or number last item is the other current assets. Same as non-current assets. So this is the format of balance sheet. Whenever we prepare the balance sheet for the company, so you cannot use T-shaped profit and loss account and balance sheet. You cannot. Definitely you have to prepare the statement of profit and loss account and balance sheet under Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013. So this is the format of balance sheet. All the explanation of balance sheet is there. So you can check, you can go through, you can read. Now how to prepare the balance sheet and how to prepare the profit and loss account without adjustment. After this question, then we will read some of the adjustment to prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss account. First question I have already solved in my previous video, and I have already attached my notes in the link, so you can download the link and solve the question. Now question number 3. This is the question related to preparation of balance sheet and profit and loss account, but without adjustment. Without adjustment. You are required to prepare a balance sheet and a statement of profit and loss account for the following trial balance of Hariya Chemical Limited for the year ended 31st of March 2025. Clear? So now the trial balance is given. So what is trial balance? Trial balance is a summary of all the ledger, or the trial balance is a statement in which we record, we transfer all the closing balance of each and every ledger. What is the step of accounting? We have discussed in my previous video. The first step is recording the transaction. Recording the transaction means record or pass the journal entry. After record the journal entry, after pass the day-to-day transaction. Now the second step is prepare ledger and cash book. And after prepare the ledger and cash book, now the next step is close all the ledger and cash book. And the fourth step is write down all the closing balance on paper of each and every ledger. So this is called trial balance. And after the trial balance, now we can prepare the statement of profit and loss account as well as balance sheet. So this is the fifth step. The first step is record transaction or pass journal entry. Second step, prepare ledger and cash book. Third step, calculate the closing balance of all ledger and cash book. Fourth step is सारे क्लोजिंग बैलेंसेस को एक पेपर पे लिख देना, हम उसको बोलते हैं ट्रायल बैलेंस. एंड द फोर्थ, आफ्टर फोर्थ स्टेप, द फिफ्थ स्टेप इज प्रिपेयर द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट एंड बैलेंस शीट. नाउ दिस क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू प्रिपेयर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट एंड बैलेंस शीट. सो ट्रायल बैलेंस इज गिवन. Now using the trial balance, we can prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss account. Before preparation of balance sheet and profit and loss account, for practice purpose, you can mention on each and every item whether such item related to balance sheet and profit and loss account. Like inventory related to profit and loss account, furniture related to balance sheet, discount related to profit and loss account, loan to director related to balance sheet, advertisement is the expenditure related to profit and loss account, bad debts related to profit and loss account, commission related to profit and loss account, material consumed related to profit and loss account, plant and machinery is the balance sheet. Rental is profit and loss account. Current account, balance sheet. Cash, balance sheet. Interest on loan, profit and loss account. Preliminary expenditure, profit and loss account. Furniture, assets है, balance sheet. Basis, expenses है, profit and loss account. Consumable, profit and loss account. Freehold land, assets है, balance sheet. Tools and equipment, assets है, balance sheet. Goodwill, assets है, balance sheet. Trade receivable, assets है, balance sheets. Now, dealer aids is the expenditure, profit and loss account. Transit insurance is profit and loss account. Trade expenses, profit and loss account. Distribution freight, profit and loss account. And debenture interest is also profit and loss account. Now, from the credit side, equity share capital, balance sheet. Debenture, balance sheet. Bank loan, balance sheet. Trade payable, balance sheet. Next is sales. Sales is profit and loss account. Rent receipt, profit and loss account. Transfer fee, profit and loss account. This is the profit and loss account balance related to the balance sheet, part of reserve and surplus. And this is also related to the balance sheet. We will discuss. This is the depreciation provision. Now we will discuss. And after the trial balance, only one information is given. Closing inventory as on 31st March 2025 is rupees 8,23,000. Now the prepare profit and loss account and balance sheet. First we will prepare statement of profit and loss account, then we will prepare the balance sheet. Now question is how to prepare statement of profit and loss account. So this is the heading. Statement of profit and loss account. For the year ending 31st of March 2025. 31st of March 2025. Here particular, note number, amount. Now we will use this space for preparation of note number. So this is the format. In the profit and loss account, the first item is revenue from operation. Revenue from operation. And revenue from operation means sales of goods and sales of service. Revenue generated from the principal business as well as the auxiliary or ancillary business all are classified under the revenue from operation. In this question, only one item is given, only sales is given. Sales. This is 42,68,000. Whenever you solve the question, so just first download my notes and take the printout, then you can easily solve the question. Then how much revenue from operation? The sales is, so here sales is 42,68,000. $42,68,000. Next is other income or other revenue. So now prepare note number first. Note number first for other income. In the question, two type of other income is there. Two type of other income is given. Number first is the rent receipt. Rent receipt 46,000, or number is the transfer fee is rupees 10,000. Total is 56,000. addition of both. This is the total income 43 lakh. $24,000. ठीक है जी. So now expenses. Under the expenses, material consumed is given in the question. Material consumed is given. Cost of material consumed, and this is 23 lakh 19,000. ठीक है. So I cannot again and again scroll down and scroll up. So please download the question and you can easily solve the question. Now the next is difference in stock, difference in inventory, opening inventory minus closing inventory. So 6,80,000 is opening inventory is given, and 8,23,000 is the closing inventory is given. So difference between opening minus closing, this is 1,43,000 negative. This is 1,43,000 negative. Next is employee benefit expenses. Employee benefit expenses. In the question, only wages is given. Only wages given. How much total wages given? Total wages 9 lakh rupees given in the question. Okay. So after employee benefit expenses, now the next item is finance cost. Next item is finance cost. So now we will prepare note number 2. Because 2 type of interest is given in the question. So prepare note number 2. For finance cost, and 2 type of finance cost is given. Number first is interest on loan. This is 1,16,000, and second is interest on debenture. This is 55,000. Then how much total interest? Total interest is 1,71,000. Finance cost is 1,71,000. Next item is depreciation and amortization. But the depreciation and amortization is not given in the question. And the last item is other expenses. Last item is other expenses. So now prepare note number 3. Note number 3 for other expenses. And so many type of expenses is given. So inclusion of all the expenses is classified under the other expenses. Just example, Number first, discount is given 40,000. Number second, advertisement 20,000. Next, bad debts 35,000. After bad debts, commission 1,20,000. After commission, rentals 25,000. आप नोट से चेक कर लेना. Rentals 25,000. After rentals, preliminary expenses 10,000. After preliminary expenditure, consumable 84,000. After consumables, now dealer aids 21,000. After dealer aids, transit insurance is 30,000. The next is trade expenses 37,000. And the last one is distribution freight is 54,000. All type of expenses other than primary 6 is treated as other expenses. तो first prepare the working note. Working note में उन expenses को add कर दें और कहाँ लिख देंगे? In the format of statement of profit and loss account. So now the total expenses is 6,01,000. So write down here, this is 6,01,000. ठीक है जी. Now this is the total expenses B, and the total expenses is B. Clear? Now this is not 6,01,000. This is not 6,01,000. This is the 4,76,000. And the total is 37,23,000. Clear? Now prepare profit before tax A minus B. A is 43,24,000 and B is 37,26,000. So remaining is the 6,01,000 is now profit before tax minus tax. So tax is not given in the question. So same 6,01,000 is the profit after tax. This is the statement of profit and loss account. And the profit after tax we will transfer in the balance sheet liability side under the heading of reserve and surplus. Now after preparation of statement of profit and loss account, so now prepare the balance sheet. Now prepare the balance sheet. So write down heading here. Balance sheet as on 31st of March 2025. And the balance sheet is divided into two parts, liability and assets. This portion is for note number. Here particular. note number and amount. Particular note number and third one is amount. Now the first heading under the balance sheet, this is equity and liability. And under the equity and liability, the heading is shareholder fund. Under the shareholder fund, now the first item is share capital. And how much share capital? 25 lakh rupees is share capital given in the question. Number second is reserve and surplus. So now prepare note number 4 or note number 1, 2, 3. Note number 4 for reserve and surplus. Now the reserve and surplus includes what type of reserve is given in the question? Last year profit and loss account balance is given. Old profit and loss account balance is given in the question. This is 1,39,000. And plus net profit of the current year. This is 6,01,000. Then total 7,40,000 rupees is given. Then how much reserve and surplus? Total is 7,40,000. After the reserve and surplus, now the next heading is non-current liability. Non-current liability. Under the non-current liability, the first item is long-term borrowings. And the long-term borrowings is given in the question, long-term borrowings. So now prepare first note number 5. For long-term borrowings. Under the long-term borrowings, debenture is given. For rupees 5 lakh. And bank loan is given, this is 6,45,000. The total is 11,45,000 is the long-term borrowings. ठीक है जी. Number first item is long term borrowings. Number second item is the deferred tax liability. Number third item is the other long term borrowings. Or number fourth item is the long term provision. No other item is given in the question. Now the next heading is current liability. Under the current liability, again 4 heads is given. Short term liability, number second trade payable, number third other short term liability, and number third short term provision. Out of 4, only trade payable is given in the question. Only trade payable is given. And how much trade payable is given? This is 2,81,000 trade payable is given. And nothing is given regarding the liability side. So now make the total. So total is 46,66,000. Now the asset side. Under the assets, the heading is non-current assets. Under the non-current assets, now the first item is the PP. So first prepare note number 6 for PP. Note number 6 for PP. Under the PPE, so the first item plant and machinery is given. Plant and machinery is 8,60,000. And minus depreciation provision is given 1,46,000. So subtract depreciation provision from the value of plant and machinery. So remaining is the 7,14,000. Next, furniture is given for rupees 2 lakh. After furniture, fixtures is given. This is 3 lakh. Next is freehold land. This is 15,46,000. And last is tools and equipments. This is 2,45,000. The total is 30,05,000. This is the total of PP. Next is the intangible asset. So only goodwill is given. So no need to prepare working note. How much goodwill? 2,65,000. Only 2 items is given under the non-current assets. Now the heading is current asset. Heading is current assets. Under the current assets, first inventory is given. 823. Trade receivable is given. $440. Cash and cash equivalent, this is 53,000. And the last item is short-term advances. This is 80,000 rupees. Short-term advances 80,000 rupees. This is loan to director. Now, here write down all the figures either in profit and loss account and balance sheets. Now make the total. So now the total is 46,66,000. So total of asset side and total of liability side is equal. So this is the balance sheet without adjustment. Sorry. In the next video, we will discuss preparation of final account with adjustment. So please go through all the question without adjustment. नेक्स्ट क्लास में मैं आपको ये बताऊंगा कि एडजस्टमेंट के साथ हम बैलेंस शीट एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट कब तक कैसे बनाते हैं.